got to get that feeling.
Hello, loves. It's me, Sunshine. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I haven't been on because I've been in Hawaii. Sorry. Having a good time, But I have a special guest tonight. Although all my guests are special, but Davey Joe is special in my heart. I met him last year, and he's such a beautiful soul. And he's got such magical words to say. So I'm going to bring him on. Hey, David Joe.
Howdy do.
How are you, love?
I'm great. I'm doing really well. It's a beautiful, fantastic, wonderful day on Earth today.
Yes, I love it. I love it. We did a mutual thing on Saturday, and you were introduced to a couple of my friends, and you did a tattoo today, right? On one of them?
Yeah, on her son, actually.
Yeah, tell us about that. I'm dying to hear.
Yeah, you're going to find out tomorrow, too. So.
Yeah. I'm getting tattooed by Davey tomorrow. I'm so excited.
Yeah, actually, today was particularly exciting for me because for multi-layers, one of the reasons was it was somebody's first tattoo.
Right.
And also it was a young man who's like on his path, on his journey and navigating through his own life. And, 18 years old, like you start to kind of see how the world is working and you see where it has problems and you're like, oh, something's wrong here,
Yeah.
And that starts to like really settle in at that time when you start to like become your own person in the world and taking care of yourself and all that kind of stuff. So it's an important, valuable time. And also when I first set out to do tattoos, I had the inspiration to somewhere down the line along the path to offer some kind of initiation process for young men into manhood.
Okay.
I think it's something that like is not acknowledged in our present culture, and I'd like to bring some acknowledgement to that there is a point where a boy becomes a man,
Yeah.
and to mark that with the tattoo, I can go on and on about that specifically, but to mark it with a tattoo, I think would be a powerful thing. So today, this guy, he had a design in mind, and we sat with intention, and the intention of all the tattoos that I do is to really sit with the image, whatever it is, whether it's an abstract image or if it's a word or if it's a butterfly, like whatever. To really check in and make sure it's a timeless image, to make sure it's something that's going to really like, because humans on the human level, we're constantly changing, we're constantly shifting, especially from one phase of life to another. When I was 17, I had a whole set of beliefs that I held to and fought for, and now I'm 37. I have a completely reversed that. You know what I mean? So to find something that's really timeless, that will always be supportive no matter where you're at and where your beliefs are, is one of the intentions. And we were able to sit with that and put something on his body that he's gonna carry with him.
Yeah. And that's amazing too, because usually the first tattoo is when you're young and dumb, right?
Yeah. Totally.
I know I had my first one wasn't covered up, but I think my third or fourth one I covered up,
Yeah. But I covered my third, fourth, fifth.
Yeah.
They're not even there anymore.
Covered up one. The one on the back of my neck, the turtle now. So yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, and I am so grateful to you opening up the world to boys and young men, because there's so much feminine power, you know, and I just love meeting men that are spiritual and are holding space for other men and letting, you know, because we're all magical, every single one of us, just not just the women. And I love that you do that. So beautiful.
Yeah,
Thank
it's
you.
yeah, it's an honor. I mean, I'm blessed because you know, because that inspiration came to me, you know.
Right.
And when I started to like really heal, um, that was one of the things that came through, because I suffered so much when I was young, when I was a teenager, and in my all of my 20s, I suffered so much from depression and all that stuff, and like for me, like I made it through and I came out really strong, but there were moments where it was scary, it was dangerous,
Yeah.
you know, and so I kind of like just put it out there to the universe that I'm here to help, and if there's any like people who in my position, you know, that I can help along the way, then I will be more than happy to do that, you
I
know.
love that. We have lots of listeners. We got Michael, we've got Ellen, we got Jill. Hey guys. Jill mentions we need more men, that's for sure. More
Yeah,
like-minded, yeah. So
yeah,
beautiful, beautiful. Yay.
yeah,
So tell us, I was also, you know, my story too.
yeah.
So I also, you know, came into this beautiful world. We're still going through it, right?
Right.
We're still healing, we're still evolving. How
Mhm.
long ago did you start this journey?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to really put a thing, but when I really committed, you know, because I started meditating like 18 years ago, but I didn't have any guidance, and I was still just crazy, you know. So when I was let's see, it's coming up on about 10 years ago when I really like committed to change, and
Yeah.
that was right after the second time I got arrested for assault.
Okay.
Was the moment that I realized that the common denominator for all my problems was me. And if my life's going to get better, I have to do something. And I can't stop. I had to stop like saying, no, the world is all messed up. It's
Yeah.
not me, it's the world's, you know,
Yeah.
it's like, no,
Yeah.
it was me. Yeah.
It's
So,
always us. It's always us. And it's such a beautiful thing that you could say it out loud and admit to it. I had a conversation today and it was, you know, a revolving broken record. And I'm like, love, it's you.
yeah.
You have the choice. You have the ability to choose what you want, you know, and
Yeah.
it wasn't being received. But you
Mhm.
know, in due time, maybe she'll have her aha moment, you know,
Yeah.
and
Yeah. And
just
hopefully,
love, you know.
yeah. And hopefully, like, you know, for me, I had to suffer tremendously and really hit bottom to realize that. And
Yeah,
I really hope that's part of like the message I want to share is like, don't wait till life beats you to nothing to
right.
surrender your life to a higher power. Do it now. It's
Do it
worth it.
now, right? Don't wait.
Don't wait.
Don't wait. Do it. Because
Yeah.
because it's not going to happen when you're, you know, 100 pounds less or when you're at this moment. You start right now exactly as you are,
Hmm.
and then it'll, you know, evolve, right?
It'll open up, and that moment of like kind of surrender, you can even just look at it as like the only thing you've done by surrendering your life is open the door for something divine to come in.
Right.
It's waiting for that moment, you
Yeah.
know, and you can do it through suffering, or you can do it through understanding or will, or even curiosity. It
Yeah,
happens through
yeah, yeah.
curiosity sometimes, but do it, you know, it's worth it.
And we're the ones who are making ourselves suffer, you know.
Right.
And that's the key is that we're doing it,
Yeah, we have full responsibility over our life. We can't necessarily control what happens to us necessarily, but we are in full responsibility for how we experience the world and what we put back into it.
Right. Yeah. Yay. So tell us about some of your journey.
Sure. I mean, let's see where to begin. Like journey of like awakening, like the good stuff or the dark stuff. What do you want to hear?
Well, let's do both if you're willing to do both.
I'm wide open. I'm wide open.
Yay! So I love it.
Let's dig. Cool.
Yeah.
Let's see. So some fun stuff that's fun to talk about is I guess we find our own medicine all along the path and things that like we connect with, and like one of the hardest things for me growing up was feeling accepted. I never really felt like I fit in anywhere. I can get along with pretty much anybody, but I never really felt like I belonged anywhere, and so I was attracted to heavy metal music, and that was like my medicine for like a really long time, for like a good portion. I remember when it was one band I remember I started listening to when I was like a teenager, and it was like really dark, but at the same time, like for me to hear it, I was like, wow, somebody's going through the same stuff that I'm going through. This feels good, and it felt, even though it was like we're super angry and like aggressive and everything, it was like what I was hearing was honesty. I was like hearing these men and women even too, just singing and screaming about their sorrow, and was so vulnerable and honest about it. That's, I think heavy metal music is like looked down on often, and for rightfully so, for many reasons, but at the same time,
they're speaking their truth, right?
And 100% honest with themselves and what's going on in the world, and accepting of it. And it was really good medicine.
I will admit I was a heavy metal girl myself.
No way.
Dio was my first concert.
Oh my God.
I actually hitchhiked there.
Amazing. So
yeah. But now God. I'm, la la la,
Yeah.
It was all part of, my journey, right?
Yeah. I was in heavy metal bands for a long time. For about 10 years, from the time I was 15 to about 26. I was in metal bands singing. And if anybody wants to check it out, it's on Spotify. It's called
cool.
Dogs of Karma is my old metal band, if you want to
I love it.
Yeah. But eventually that's also something that ended up like medicine becomes poison in the wrong dosage.
Right.
And for me, to take the next steps in my life, I really had to give that up because it was fueling my anger.
Oh, yeah.
It was actually at a show. My band was playing a show when I got my first account of assault against me. And it was almost accepted, it was almost an acceptable thing to do.
Right.
So that was a great lesson for me to even admit as well, and that's kind of like a good message too, is like sometimes you have to give up things that you really are close with. And that really, like, heavy metal served me so well, but I really had to like give it up. I still put it on once in a while, but it's really, I know it's not like nourishing my journey, what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's a sacrifice you kind of have to make sometimes, and
set it free.
Yeah.
If you love it, set it free.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's beautiful. So were you drinking and drugging during this heavy metal experience?
Definitely. I was a heavy drinker. I didn't do that many drugs. I was actually quite like awake to a certain degree too. Like it was at that time I was meditating pretty regularly and reading books on sacred geometry and Zen and stuff like that. And actually the breath work that we did, I was like doing that at that time too.
Wow.
Yeah, which is pretty wild. So I teetered on this like interesting like edge between worlds,
Amazing.
Yeah, I remember actually one of the last shows my old metal band played. We played in a bar. It was just a bar, and everybody was like, everybody's drinking and hammered, and like there was one point we had like an instrumental kind of trippy section in one of our songs, and I sat down just on stage and just started meditating in front of everybody. And I just closed my eyes, and the band kind of just did their thing and jammed. And I was there for, I don't even know how long, maybe 10 minutes. And I opened my eyes, and everybody in the room was sitting on the floor and meditating.
I love
metal show. It was super cool. Yeah. Yeah, that was kind of a cool moment.
Yeah. I love
but a lot of darkness, a lot of violence at that time, you know, and I had so much anger. You know, I was kind of raised that, you know, if you were bad, I was hit, you know, that's how I was like disciplined, was by, not always, and nothing super abusive, but, you know, they'd paddle me with a spoon or something like that. And when I was bad, that's what happened, you know?
Right.
And so that just translated to like, well, if somebody does something that I don't agree with, I hit them with something, you know?
Right. Yeah.
And it's just like such a direct translation. And
it's what you learned. You
yeah.
know?
And that's what I had to burn off, you know?
Yep.
And stop justifying that, you know, that people deserve that or something, you know? So that was a huge, huge transformation.
It's so beautiful to see, because I was the same way, you know, I was abused too and hit, and you know, I was never a hitter, but I was in a cycle of, you know, different people, allowing different people to do the same thing to me over and over, because I just assumed that was what it was supposed to be. Right.
Yeah.
And it's so amazing when you actually have that aha, like, no, and you unlearn, right? And you learn new things, new habits, right?
Totally. And you discover like what's really important. You know, it's easy to justify things in your own mind and then behave based on that. But like, it really is important to just like settle with things and really take a good look at like what I'm doing with my life, what I'm thinking about and believing in, you know. That's another big thing that I learned, was like, I don't have to believe in my own thoughts. You know, we instantly assume that like thoughts come into our brain and they belong to us, and that
right.
it's me, you know, your thoughts don't really have all that much to do with you, actually,
Right.
in an ultimate sense of truth, you know.
Yeah.
That was a big moment, you know.
Ellen actually just wrote self-love. That's what we're all about, right, Davey?
It's totally necessary. Yeah.
Totally necessary. Yes.
Yeah, and you realize that how much of your suffering comes from a lack of self-love, you know. Like something that I'm working on now is just like really finding a way to communicate my needs, you know, and to express, you know, even like if I disagree with something, like honoring that I disagree with something and doing it in a way where I don't feel like I have to stifle myself, but at the same time I don't disrespect anybody else.
Right.
You know,
because we're all, I don't believe in right and wrong. I believe it's just is. Whatever you believe might be different from what this person believes, you know, and just supporting and respecting is such a key thing in this world, you know.
Yeah. It's one of the reasons, like I spend a lot of time studying like yogic philosophy and scriptures and stuff like that, and it's such an anchor for me because they're so direct about like offering knowledge that it just gives you the opportunity to know that if I behave based on this type of thought, I know what I'm going to get, you know. I know what I'm going to get out of life if I approach life in this way, you know. And I've read the same book over and over and over again for 10 years, and it never gets old. The Bhagavad Gita.
I was gonna say, which book? Yeah, I love that book too. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, I read it just about every day, and it's one of those things, is every time I read it, it's fresh, it's brand new, and it's relevant to my life. Every moment. And it's a direct guidance on how to live your life and find it's about being happy, right? Like, yeah. That's what spirituality is, actually finding true happiness, you know.
Within ourselves, right? Yeah. Jill wants to know, which book is it?
The Bhagavad Gita.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would spell it for you, but I cannot.
I can spell it if you like. Yeah.
Spell it out loud for us.
Yeah, sure. Bhagavad means Lord, and Gita means song. It's a song of the Lord. B-H-A-V. Wait, hold on. Bhagavadgita. Bhagavad Gita.
Yes.
Song of the Lord. Yeah.
Yes. Tell us a little bit about it.
Sure. It's a chapter actually in a larger text. It's like this massive epic story. Thank you, Michael. It's this massive epic story called the Mahabharata. If it's literally the greatest story ever told. Like there's Star Wars, there's Lord of the Rings, there's all these stories that have ever been told. The Mahabharata is the ultimate epic story. And the Bhagavad Gita is a moment in that story where one of the greatest warriors on the planet, he's leading this army to go fight against this other kingdom, and he looks at the other across the battlefield, and he sees his uncle is on the opposite side and his friends are on the other side. Just the way the kingdom's divided, it put, cousin against cousin and family against family and all that stuff. And he has this moment of deep distress and he crumbles, and he has this moment of surrender. He says, Lord, I give myself to you. I don't know what to do with myself. I'm distraught. I'm lost. Help me. And in this book, the Lord is embodied by Krishna, and the Bhagavad Gita is the teaching that is given on the battlefield in that moment. And basically, it goes through fundamental teachings on how to live their life. The first thing he says in the book, the first teaching of the book is, so the first thing is, we are all immortal, eternal souls beyond the body, and who we are is transcendent of the body. So the body may die today, but the soul doesn't die. So what are you grieving over?
Right.
It's okay. It's all part of it. And all of this is governed by some supreme force that has a will with it that's for the good of all. So what is there to be sorrowful about? And then it goes on to teach that action and behavior in the world should be done without the desire for the fruits of your actions. And you'll find great joy in living that way. And if I just perform, if I'm an artist and I just perform the action because I love art and I don't care even what it looks like, and then at the end of that, I just offer it to God, or I offer it to the world, or I offer it to a child, or whatever, I give it up and I don't attach to the fruits of my actions, then I'm free and then I'm happy. I'll just share a couple more things about the Gita. It also gives a beautiful knowledge about the world. The universe is kind of broken up into three categories called the gunas. And when you understand each of the three categories, it helps you understand your life experiences and how to discern what to involve yourself in. And it also gives you introspection. If I'm thinking in a certain way, it's based on this one category, one or two categories that the world is broken down into. And then I can choose to either follow those thoughts or maybe purify them and find a greater way of thinking.
Right. It's amazing.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
And you offer songs, the kirtan, right? And all that, right? Tell everybody what that is.
Sure. Yeah. Kirtan, it's pretty cool because to sing heavy metal, and then I surrendered my life to yoga, and I gave my life to the divine. And
he'll be back. Hello from Madison, New Hampshire, my love.
Okay, cool.
There he is. Yay.
So kirtan is a form of bhakti yoga, the yoga of devotion. So yoga is not limited to just physical movements and stuff. There's many, many different types of yoga. And that's actually what the Bhagavad Gita takes you through, is all the different types. Actually, besides the physical, it doesn't talk about that.
Right.
Bhakti yoga is yoga of devotion, and the main practice of that is kirtan, and kirtan is the devotional chanting of secret and sacred names for the divine. So it's like sunshine is a special name, right? It's like it's an intimate name for what you embody, and these names for the divine are the same. In that kind of way. They're intimate. They're a way of getting to know the divine on a specific level that helps us really connect at the heart. And we chant the names Hare Krishna, over and over again to purify and cleanse the mind, so the mind focuses on something divine.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
That's how we met, actually.
Yeah.
You guys offered it. Well, did you do kirtan on my porch? No, just the breath.
No, but there were kirtan songs like kind of on the playlist though.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Yay.
Yeah. Yep. So that's something that I offer. It's really close to my heart because I do so many things in the spiritual realm, and there's so many levels, which I'm grateful that I've witnessed, and have them kind of in my library and have practiced them all deeply.
Yeah.
Like physical meditation, chanting, and all this. I've done a lot of it. Not that I'm a master of any of it, but I've dedicated enough time to be able to share the benefits from a direct experience, and kirtan's one that's it's really close, because if you have a crazy mind, it's good to give the mind something to do,
Yeah.
And my mind's kind of crazy sometimes, and it's also it's very joyful, and it's like community based, so you do it with a group of people, and it's such a beautiful experience. Like one of the imagine a spiritual practice that requires song and dance, it's just cool,
Someone's asking, where do you do this?
Aha.
Ah.
So, I used to do it at a place called the Funky Om in Huntington. They still do it there every Wednesday night. If you want to check it out, they're like wonderfully devoted, and they serve a good kirtan. But I am working it out. I used to do it at my house every Sunday, and I'm going to do it again at my house sometime. So we'll have to stay connected on when exactly that happens. But I will be offering it at my space. I have a space where we do events and stuff. So
yay. And you can always offer it here too. You know that.
We can do that. Yeah, we can definitely do that. Yeah.
I love it. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys are so special. So I love it.
Yeah.
You're more than welcome. More than welcome.
Thank you.
Yay. So tell us what else you offer.
So a few other things. I have this one thing that I really love to do, but I don't know if like others love it as much as I do. But I do these
about you. It doesn't matter what they like.
Yeah. I do like these kind of semi-interactive poetry readings.
Okay.
So I read poetry and kind of like tell this story, weaving these different poems together, and sometimes there's music involved with it too, but it's like this I don't know, it's like this cool, like very childlike experience, like you ever like watch a story, like a movie or something like that when you're a kid and you're just like enthralled,
Yeah.
It's kind of that type of environment, but with deep spiritual knowledge. I've written these poems that like are really inspired by the texts that I read, and we kind of weave it all together to have this experience of presence, really.
Yeah.
And laced within it all is this like ancient knowledge that I've spent so much of my life studying.
Yeah. And now do you have a YouTube video? A YouTube channel?
I do. Yeah, I do.
Okay. So is it under Davey Joe? Oh, I know it's actually on your website, right?
It is on my website. Yeah. If you go to Path of Zero or my link tree that's connected with my Instagram,
yeah,
you'll find everything there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
because your words, like I said before, are magical. Everyone's like, do it at Sunshines. Woohoo, let's do it.
I'll
Yeah.
do it. Yeah, I'm down.
Cool.
Sweet. Oh, I would love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Christine Fay says she writes poetry from her life experiences. Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah,
It's a beautiful thing.
it certainly is. All three of my books that I wrote are, about my life experiences. So yeah, when you put it out on paper and document it, and oh, it's such a beautiful thing.
It
And
is.
I've heard a lot of your words. So yay.
Yay. Yep.
Listen to Davey Joe. He's amazing.
Oh, thank you.
And you also your musical instruments. You have many talents on that, right?
Yeah, I make it's kind of a side thing now. I used to like really do it, but it's hard work. Like I make these steel tongue drums.
Okay.
And they're beautiful and amazing, and I love making them, but it's like a little harsh on my body.
Yeah.
And so I kind of make them on the side. I don't really push it, but if somebody wants one, like I'm making one right now for this dude, and I'm so happy to do it, but I'm not happy to do it every day.
And you play them though too, right? You play drums, you play guitar, right? All different types of drums, right?
Yeah, I play a drum called the merdumga. It's a instrument. It's a typical or traditional instrument done for kirtan. And then I play like other hand drums. I can play drum set. I play the steel drums too. And I play guitar. I play like a little flamenco style guitar, kirtan songs on that too. I wrote a few of my own songs also on the guitar, and yeah, I play a little harmonium, another traditional instrument for kirtan.
Yeah. Multi-talented, right?
Yep.
I love it. I love it. Yeah. And I was going to say something. Oh, I loved your analogy the other day when I was there, that you weren't formally taught. You were just like, just show me how to do it and I'll figure it out.
Oh, yeah. With especially with a lot of things in my life, I guess building my drums was something like that. Even learning like guitar, I just kind of like made it happen.
Yeah.
And I guess it's just a part of my temperament. Like when I was in school and stuff, like I always thought I was stupid because like I didn't do well in school, but like I tried hard. Like I would try like in school, like, but I just didn't do well for whatever. So I was just like, wow, I must just be dumb, but then when I got into the world, and like I was like working different jobs and stuff like that, anytime I was given the space to like, I think I remember that moment. If you just tell me like what the result is that you want from me, I'll just make that happen. And I'm open to hearing like how to do it. I'm totally open, but I know myself pretty well that if I figure it out on my own, I'll find the best way for me to do it.
Yeah. And I just love that because I'm the same exact way. Someone will say, all right, do this. And I'm like, boom, done. I'll figure it out too,
Yeah.
So I love that.
Yeah. And it's an honoring of our temperaments, and the way we experience things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so fun. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Even that, my porch, I built the screens myself. Everyone's like, you did that yourself? I'm like, yeah, don't look at the corners, but I did it.
Right.
It works, right?
You made it happen. Yeah.
So much fun.
Yep.
And what else do you offer, love? I know you and Lexi did Costa Rica, right? You retreats now, right?
Yeah, we offer some yoga retreats. We're doing a retreat in Thailand, and it's going to be amazing in February. It's at an amazing eco center in Thailand. That one of the main things that I really focus my time on, that's my that's my journey
Yeah.
is it's hard to actually really express. I've gone through all the yogas and experienced so much benefit from it, and found myself really, really drilling into like the subtleties of self, you know, because we have all these things that we say that we are, like we talk from a place of being that is like, we talk about our body as ourself, we talk about our mind and the way that we think as ourself, but if we really, really look deeply, we find that actually none of that stuff, it's almost like a phantom. When you look into your own sense of self, you find there's really actually nothing there when you look, but there is something there, but it's not the stuff that we thought about,
Right.
you know? And it's one of the things I focus on in my own journey is continuously kind of confirming inside myself my truest self as often as I can remember. So that's something I love the opportunity to share that with others. It's rare when it comes up. You have to be like really ready for it. And it's actually quite triggering because we don't realize how many defenses we have against falsely identifying with our ego self. And we don't realize how subtle the ego goes and that kind of stuff. But I find so much joy in the work, you know, for me personally. It's another temperament thing, you know. Yeah. It's not for everybody, but it's something I really enjoy. And it's really what's healed me the most, you know, out of all the stuff that I've done in practice. This is the one thing that I've really healed from the most, because I call it taking down the mothership. You can go and like try and take down all the little ships, you know, like I'm going to go and take down anger and not be angry anymore. I'm going to go take down, you know, this tendency of judgment, you know, I'm going to take down, you know, all these little things one by one, and that's fine, and there's nothing wrong with that, and you do that too. But this just confirming your true identity, it really takes down the whole thing, the whole situation. So that's one of the things that I don't know. I don't like do that, but I love to talk about it, and I love to share, you know, and I do one-on-one mentorships. That's the bulk of what we cover. I have a program called The Path of Zero that I share a lot of this knowledge that I've learned and structure it so we can kind of like learn the nature of the mind, learn the nature of the self, and learn the nature of the world and karma and all this stuff, and we can find some clarity, so we actually have some discernment inside, so we can make good choices.
Yeah. It's amazing listening to you. I just love listening to you. So
thank you so much.
Yeah, because you know I feel the same way about everything. So it's so beautiful to find like-minded people and be able to say it out loud, you know, and not, you know, preaching it. You're teaching it, right?
Yeah, there's a difference.
Big difference. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just sharing what works
for me. You. Yeah.
I know it for a fact because it's changed my life, you know. It's changed my entire reality in the best way, you know.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Me too. I love it. Yes. So much love. So tell me about Thailand. I might have to come with you guys.
Oh my God, I would love it. I would love it if you could. Oh my
One of my girlfriends is there right now.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's near Chiang Mai, northern Thailand, like in the mountains. And it's at a eco resort called Maladara, which means necklace of stars. It's a beautiful place run by this amazing Thai woman who's got her own incredible story. Just a beautiful, beautiful woman. She like rescues animals. They grow their own rice. They grow their own like vegetables, bananas, figs. They have all this beautiful food that's right there. And they have like a 5-star restaurant right on the place.
Wow.
It's amazing. These beautiful huts that you get to stay in. It's such a balance of like, you're in a house made out of mud, but it's like luxurious and beautiful. Yeah. Really, really cool. And then the retreat itself is my partner and I, are running it, and it's called Earth, Moon, and Sun. And I have very sun-wise practices, so I'm very masculine and like cutting through ignorance and sharing the deepest knowledge and going right to the heart of everything, you know. And very direct and very serene meditation practices and stillness and chanting and stuff like that. And then she has these very flowy, very feminine dancing and screaming and expressive kind of ways that she finds, you know, healing. So we've come together on this retreat to share both of our ways and find where they meet and some common ground between them and just to go deep with people, you know, to really like for people who are ready, you know, it's like really open up to like a spiritual life, you know, that's kind of who we want to call in, or just check it out and see what it's like. Cause it's fun too. Like, it's not all just like, oh, I got to do this work and, you know, like it's fun. It's like a blast. Like, it's such a good time too.
Yeah.
And then we're going to have amazing excursions on the trip too. So it's not just going to be, we're going to go to like waterfalls and caves and temples. We're going to this amazing Buddhist temple that has like a 40-foot tall golden Buddha statue. And yeah, we'll do
sign me up, man.
Let's go.
Yeah,
it's going to be a blast. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yay. What else? Tell us what else you do.
You want to hear a poem?
Yes, please.
I'll read you a poem from my book.
Okay.
So this is the book. It's called For Everyone.
Okay.
Divinely Inspired Poetry. Let's see what we can find. Let's see. So I read, this one people might like. It's called Made to be Played. It's about Krishna. Like his flute waits for the air of divine breath, passive, clean, and yielding to every choice. Its presence is to be played, this flute. That is why it was made. That is why you also are made to be played. Like his flute, empty and full of holes. The less obstructed, the more keen, the more clear the pitch, the greater the ability for him to reach those attracted to his divine song. You can be the tune that he plays to call and draw towards him. You get to serve as his voice becomes yours. As you move, even when you dance, his light will be radiating through you. If you ever wondered at the splendor of the ones devoted to him, it is this, because he shines through them. A specific kind of shining, as you've done the unwinding and have been busy taking off those collective masks that you've put on over millennia. So in this, clear your throat and sing this song of wholeness and devotion. Hare Krishna.
That was beautiful.
Thank you.
Somebody's already asking, where does she get your book?
Yeah. Oh, that's so nice. Thank you for the support. We can connect and I can directly send you one signed. I prefer to do that, but it is on Amazon too. It's hard to find though, because I'm not like famous or anything like that. So even like when I go to like do edits on my own book, like I can't find it. It's like buried in Amazon somewhere.
Well, what if you just put your name in? Because that's what I do.
Yeah, we could try it. I've tried that and nothing has happened.
Oh, really?
It's so weird. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, but you could try that. And if you have trouble, like reach out to me directly and I'll just send you one.
Oh, she already looked. Yeah. So reach out to Davey.
Yeah, I'll send you.
And it's better to reach out to you anyway.
Yeah, totally. And I'll give it.
You're gonna get a little signature too.
Yeah, I'll personalize it for you, give you a special blessing, you know, and all that. And I'm working on another book right now too. It's called The Yoga of Conflict.
Okay.
And it's a quick little ditty, but it's I've really funneled a lot of what I've learned into human communication and interaction, and some stuff that we can observe inside ourselves and find a way to like where we can meet difficult situations and find some goodness out of it. You know, it's good for couples, you know, if you need something to work through, but it's also good for business people. or just anybody, you know, really to like, there's a way to meet every single moment of life and set yourself free, and
Yeah.
also illuminate freedom in others. And that's really what the book is intended for.
I love that.
You look out for that coming out soon.
Yay. What's the name of that one?
The Yoga of Conflict.
I love that. The Yoga of Conflict. And do you know the people that are my teachers, I call them my yogas. I go up. I go, here she comes. She's my yoga. You know, and I just go, okay, what is this person teaching me? You know,
yeah.
I love it.
So good.
Yay. So if you had to say anything out loud, that is, you know, really true, dear to your heart, what would you say to somebody?
Anybody, like
Yeah.
the all. Yeah. Okay. I would say finding out who you are is the most important thing. And to do that, you can observe any moment in your life, especially moments that bring up emotion, and simply inquire, who is this that is feeling? Is it truly who I am? And just ask yourself the question, who am I really?
Yeah.
I think this is one of the greatest things we can do in our time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe it. I believe it.
Yeah.
I am a big believer of just living in the now, you know, and not worrying about who I am or what I am, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's such a beautiful message. Thank you.
Sure.
Yay.
Yay.
So if anybody wants to reach out to our friend Davey Joe, I have all his information is scrolling along. You've been amazing. I'm looking forward to tomorrow. He is offering a beautiful tattoo for me tomorrow. He's going to, I don't even know what the word is.
The first word that came in was anoint, but I don't think that's appropriate.
I will be anointed with a tattoo tomorrow.
Inscribed.
A sacred tattoo.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really cool one too. I can't wait.
I'm excited. I'm so excited for it. Yeah. I've been so blessed with clients who just want awesome stuff, you know. It's so nourishing for me as an artist to like do things that I'm so excited about, you know.
Yeah.
It's great.
And how did you learn the tattoo? Did I ask you this question or
No. I'm self-taught, actually. Yeah, I'm self-taught. I bought a tattoo gun and I practice on fruit.
Okay.
And then I practice on myself, and then I practice on my partner, who has blessed me with, you know, offering her body to like, she has so many tattoos for me. Just
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually tattooing her on Thursday.
Are you? That's so
yeah. So yeah, I just learned through all that. I've had experience and many other arts that translate well to tattoo. Like I've done metal engraving for a long time.
Yeah.
And it's a very similar technique and everything. So that translated easily. So I picked it up really quick.
Well, that's funny because the rhino tattoo that I have was metal engraved. It was one of my things that I did. God, it's got to be 30 something years ago, but I have that tattooed on me, you know, because I love that.
Nice.
So, yeah, that's awesome. Self-taught.
Yeah.
Don't make me start tattooing.
Hey, do it.
I don't know if I could do it. I'm not into the whole blood thing, you know?
Yeah, well, even for me, it took me a little bit time to like get over the fact that I was hurting somebody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At first, it felt weird, you know.
Right.
Yeah, but you had to
Yeah.
get over it. If you want to do a good tattoo, you can't be thinking about that, you know.
Right.
So yeah, especially my girlfriend, you know, and like I'm like, whoa, you know, she's in pain, and like I'm like, oh no, you know, and I'm all gotta get over it though.
It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah,
Well, thank you so much for coming on, love. Yay! And now I get to go to Thailand and a
yeah.
tattoo.
Yes, please come. It's gonna be so awesome.
Oh
God,
my
I'd love
God.
to have you there.
I am so into it. Yes. I just got back from Hawaii doing
Yeah,
this spiritual retreat. So Thailand is on my list of things. And to go with you guys, forget about it. No
amazing,
brainer.
amazing. Yeah.
No brainer. Yay. All right.
Mhm.
So I'm going to put you in the back room.
Sounds
I'm going
good.
to I'm going to play my little music going out. And then I'll talk to you for a few minutes. All right, love?
Yeah, thank you so much for having me on, and many, many
You're
blessings to all those who witness this moment between Sunshine and I. It's such a joy to share this type of content with more and more people because it's good medicine for everyone. So I'm so grateful to be here.
Yay. All right. I'll be right there. Love you.
Love you. Thank you.
Ah, yes. So much love. So much love. Thank you, everybody, coming and enjoying the show with us. You know, I appreciate each and every one of you and love each and every one of you. And I'm going to start crying because, you know, I'm so grateful. All right. Have an amazing evening. May we all be happy, healthy, wealthy, and free.
This is the moment we've been waiting for. Feel the right in the world of time for sure. Na 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 na. Got, get